Y'all hold up, I'll be right with you. Give me a minute. I'm coming, family. Hold on, y'all. I'm doing something right now. I'm coming. Give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes, I'll be right here. You gotta take that with you. Alright, family. What's up? What's up, everybody? Oh, man, and the doorbell now. These kids, man. What? No! What, man? You gonna come in and get a doggone chimney and stuff and all that. Watch it. Don't go. Be careful. Go fast because I'm on the live stream.
This is only the first time I came in.
Look here, man.
I didn't know you were here. God,
What? Huh? What's up? What, man?
And he said he's gonna come back when he.
Yeah, you're naked on the camera, man. Get on out here with your shirt off. You ain't got no muscles or nothing. Go on, get out of here, man. People see you. What? The maintenance what?
Came in and said that he's gonna come when you get back.
Oh, all right.
I told him to.
All right, close my door, man.
So he's gonna be here around like 4 or something because I told him you'll be back around 2.
All right, don't let nobody in here. Close the door, man. What you doing? Close the door. Close means it makes a sound. Click. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Boy. What's up, family? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Man, I hate this light. Jeez, it made me look gray, like I'm the same color as my cap. We gotta adjust that. Hold on, family. Let's see if we can get at least a little tint. Damn. Maybe if I sit like this. We gotta get some lighting going on here. It's not working right. Yeah, we got lighting issues around here, man. Well, how y'all doing this evening? Evening on the East Coast. 1 second. Evening on the East Coast. So how y'all doing out there? Y'all see the title, right? You see the title? I know it's a lot of people with questions, man. But this is a message to just young brothers, you know? Just young brothers that are falling victim to what you see on the title. Gangbanging. Let me tell y'all something. Since I came to California, and it's been a while since I've been here, I have literally met, like, at least one type of every race in a gang in Cali. Speak to brothers. I minister to brothers on the internet. I minister to brothers in email, on the phone. Some of them in this city. Some of them know me from other places, right? And today, I had a talk with a brother today, and it was a good, positive talk. Talk about change, And then I come right home, I turn on my internet, right? And I'm looking at the brother's particular set on the internet. Only 2 people know specifically what I'm talking about and what set I'm talking about, because I sent the videos, right? This, one of the brothers from this particular set, it was so, like, unimaginably foolish and sick with it, you feel me? To just be a person living on the earth who is literally a menace to society, man. I mean, you could have, children playing like that. You hear the kids out there, all that. And as innocent as children are, there's people, in this world that would literally do even children bad. And I know the gangbanger world is what it is. It has its own rules. It has its own government. It has its own mind state and its own purpose. But if there are any gangbangers listening to this, I want to ask you some questions, and I want you to really, really sit down and listen and think about these few things. And it may not be but one. It may be somebody that's an uncle of a gangbanger, or, an older brother of a gangbanger, or, your big brother, you're a girl, and your big brother a gangbanger. Maybe you're the one that this one is for. We're going to see. Gang banging never yields winners. Shalom, Eddie. Shalom, brother. Shalom, fam. Gang banging of any type, any place, it never, ever. Listen to me when I'm telling you. I ain't never been a blood, a crip, a vice lord, a disciple, or none of that. I used to be a terrible, horrible, ridiculous street nigga that probably was a little bit worse than most gangbangers, but I didn't gangbang, right? My question to the gangbangers, since it is a constant from the late 60s to 2018, and this is a fact, because I know my gang history. I've been out here for a long time, and like I said, I know somebody from damn near everybody set up in California. I even know people from Oakland. I've never been to Oakland. Since gangbanging never yields any winners, not even one, not even the person that is a killer and is killing and never been shot, never went to jail, never endured a family loss. Listen to me. You still lose. There is no winners in gangbanging. Gangbanging never yields winners. Let's go back to the 1960s, late 60s, where some of the first gangs in Los Angeles started. Not detailed, but matter-of-factly. Do you not know, you young brothers that are doing this in 2018, and you're 70, 80, 90, 2000s, 40 and 45 and even 50 years old in some of these old gangs, right? You're 50 years removed, 40 years removed, 35 years removed from the origin of what is causing you to have your life path today. I don't know anybody on the street, young brothers and even young sisters, because they're sisters gangbangers. I don't know any young brothers or sisters who will be willing to die for me. You don't even know me, right? Most gangbangers, would rather even not even listen to this kind of talk and would rather kill me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the mind of a gangbanger. I know the mind. And it ain't just all for show and it ain't all for, respect and clout and money and all of that. Some people just wicked and they do that. Mm-hmm. But who wins when you fight and die for somebody else that you never knew, never met, and that maybe you probably wouldn't even like? And I'm talking to you brothers, I'm talking about you in your same stream of flow. If you're a Crip, I'm talking to Crips. If you're Blood, I'm talking to Bloods. If you're a VL, I'm talking to VLs. If you're a BD, I'm talking to you. If you're whatever, I'm not talking across gang lines. I'm talking specifically to young black men. I'm saying to you, since it is a constant, that gang banging yields no winners. And even when you win with your life and your freedom, you skip the cemetery and the jailhouse. Whoever learns from dying, think about this. I'm a shooter. I love guns. I grew up shooting guns. Guns is my thing. I love it. I love it. I love it. But I also love responsibility, safety, morality, and all of the things that go along with any responsible gun owner. Listen to me. I've never murdered, but I've seen murders. Close and really nasty. Like close enough to smell the shit when they release their bowels. I don't want to go into that. But I've seen it. And every time I've seen somebody die from a gunshot in this gang warfare, and really truly gun violence as a whole, the person that you kill and you shoot and you just riddle his body, make limbs fall off with these large caliber weapons and all of this, did you teach him a lesson? Did he learn from that? And do you not realize that death only lasts as long as the person's heart is beating? So this brother shot your brother, and your brother maybe can't walk, but he's still alive, right? And so you say, I'm going to go light the block up. I don't care if I get him or his mom or his sister, brother, his grandma. And you go do that, and you catch maybe the brother's girlfriend, and you shoot her, and you kill her. Did she learn a lesson from that? Did the brothers that you actually wanted to kill and you went out and done some wild stuff like that, who learned the lesson? Even if you catch your opponent, you catch the op, you shoot him, you blow his head off. If you've ever been in the coroner's office or the cold room at a funeral home, which I used to work at in Louisiana, and you see the expressions on some of the people's faces before they actually fix them up and put makeup on them and, everything else, it always came across to me, what was the person's last thought before they kicked the bucket? And it always thought, every person, even some of my relatives, when I looked at them in the caskets, right? I said, damn. Life is so sensitive that they would have been living today had they made one different decision in a 24-hour period. That's just number one. Number two, however violent that person may or may have not have died, at the point of death, did they learn anything? When you laid up under this guy's car and you waited for him to come home and you jumped out with your thing, the pole, and you stand over him and you shoot him until his body parts start to actually come loose. Because y'all do know that's what AKs do, right? You do know that's what 12 gauges do. You do know that's what large caliber weapons do. It's not pretty like the niggas on the videos. And I'm going to tell you, most gangbangers have never been shot. Did you all realize that? While nobody learns from getting killed violently, the majority of all gangbangers are literally wannabes trying to be like those that have been shot or those that are beefing over that which they don't know. If your gang started in the late 60s, you're in 2018, and I come to you and I ask you, man, would you die for me? And you ask me what set I'm from, and I say, I ain't from no set, but would you die for me? Most people would say, out of hand, no. Nigga, you crazy? Most people would say that to me. But when I ask you, the gangbanger, 2018, space age gangbanger, do you know how your gang set was started? What was the first beef that drew blood? Can you tell me that? Because the truth is that once one generation of gangbangers die, another one grows in as the old ones are dying. And so this continued beef from its origin stems all the way over decades and decades and decades and decades until you get to 2018. In this day, me asking you, respecting you as a gangbanger, respecting your life decision, and damn sure ain't gonna disrespect you because I understand it. But do you understand death for real? I'm telling you, I've seen caskets, and I'm a musician, so I've played for people's funerals, little bitty newborn babies. I played for full family murders, like, the father killed everybody and himself. I played for teenage funerals, played for elderly people's funerals, poor people's funerals. In Hurricane Katrina, some people, I didn't know their names, and neither did the funeral director. I don't think I'd be willing to die for any of those people. Just as a carnal man, me telling you right now, no, I don't know you and I'm not willing to die for you. That's the same answer that most of you all would give me if I asked you, would you die for me? And I'm saying to you, do you know your gang history? What was the first beef that drew blood? And do you know if that beef was ever ended? Did anybody win? I suggest to you, if your gang is an older gang, then you are more prone to understanding what I'm saying because you know that you have never won yet. Do you realize what I'm saying to you? I'm not looking at the chat, so a peace to all of y'all that's coming in. And I grab the comments after the start because I'm thinking, because I'm a father, I'm a father and I got boys. And no father teaches their boys to be, just be in the hood and people abuse you and all of that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of situations. A lot of situations that can land a young brother in that stead. I understand it. But do you understand that gangbanging never yields winners? Listen to what I said to you. Do you know where the first blood was drawn from? Where? What street? Who did it? How old is your gang? Because you're literally doing what you thought when I asked that question. Many of you are watching. You're like, what kind of shit is that? This nigga here, is he going crazy? Asking me would I die for him. But you never met me. And you never met 98% of the people that came before you. And I guarantee you, those 98% of those people that you never met, excluding your current associates, those 98% of those people, I guarantee you that if they could come back today and answer the question that I posed, what do you learn At and after the point of death, as relates to your plight on the earth, your gang, the beef, nigga stepped on your shoes, and you shot this nigga. What did you teach him? You taught him how the flash from a gun looks like. You taught him what it feels like. And you shot him in the face, so he didn't even linger. 3 seconds of a lesson. And then you throw your life away for that. Sanyika Shakur, one of the most prominent gangbangers that I've ever just processed their story. His name is Monster Cody. He's an 8-tray gangster crip, and that's the only set that I'm going to call, because Monster Cody wrote a book about the things that I'm talking about. And Monster Cody was a monster, you hear me? If you read that book, you're going to think most of it was fiction, but it ain't. Monster Cody took somebody's arm, a literal arm, to a gang meeting. We ain't gonna tell the story. Get the book. Monster Cody got the name Monster from stomping somebody's face into the pavement for 20 minutes. And when the cops got the body, all the people around looking at the pebbles and rocks embedded in this person's face and their head crushed, they called him Monster. Monster Cody wrote a book about the very same things that I'm talking to you brothers now, and I'm not biting, I'm just giving him props. One of the most vicious that ever did it. His name is not Monster Cody. His name is Sanyika Shakur. And you know what he's living right now? I don't know if he's in prison, if he's alive or dead, but the last time I saw him speaking, he was talking about consciousness. Even a monster wants to live and wants to thrive and wants to teach. Monster and everybody before Monster would tell you that, you know what, this brother got a point. I done killed 30, 40, 50 people, these people may say to you. But none of them learned a lesson beyond 3 to 5 seconds if they didn't, if they died at the immediate gunshot. And that's a lot of times, headshots and chest shots. My goodness. What did you teach them? What did they learn? A good teacher makes sure, and I'm a teacher, so I know how to teach and what the aim is. If you're a gangbanger, if you're an OG, the lessons that you teach the young brothers should be lessons that will preserve life and actually add to your organization. Not dissing any OGs, not dissing any young Gs, YGs, or none of that. I'm simply stating facts. Gangbanging never yields a winner on either side. Most of the time, the gangs never even spread out of their original boundaries. And those original boundaries, most of the time, are never owned by the gangbangers. The city owns it, runs it, redlines it, builds prisons on it, and cemeteries. And even the very fact that you die or they die trying to teach a lesson to each other, right? Do you not know that your body, your death, your actual economic flow in this country does not stop at your death? How do I know that? Because I just said I'm a church musician, a jazz musician, a gospel musician, a kingdom musician, a neo-soul musician, even a concert pianist. And I'm telling you, every funeral that I play at, I've had to get paid. I know that sounds crazy, but you got to hear what I'm saying, y'all. Every funeral that I've ever played at, I had to get paid. The undertaker was paid, even down to the gasoline and the mileage. And that money, everybody pays taxes on all of the revenue that's generated behind one man's death. And you know what? Most of that money goes right out of black people's hands into the nations of their oppressors of many times. Most of the time, you got brothers in these gangs in these neighborhoods, and they see and they know what oppresses them and what is redlining them, what is keeping them from being a property owner. And they keep it in the back of their mind that that's the enemy. But a bigger enemy becomes that which is your brother's, right? Why is that right? I'm telling you, Sanyika Shakur wrote all of this shit in his book, y'all. It's just called Monster Cody. You can grab it. I think it's a subtitle, but you can Google it and you grab the book. What do you learn when you're shot in the face with a 12 gauge? Of course, you learn what a 12 gauge sounds like, what that gunpowder smells like before it smashes your face. But immediately after you die, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. As far as what you have learned on this side. Now, I'm not fear-mongering at all. Because like I'm saying, we all going to have our own role to hold. And when you really understand death, you understand that final moment. And it makes you respect, not death, but respect the transition between life and then death. It's as holy as being born, right? And death is just like being born. I don't want to go into that, but that moment, it's only a few fleeting moments. I don't care if you lingered on for 10 years at the point of your death. Natural causes or gangbanging, getting shot at a party up close in the face or chest. What did you teach? What did they learn? And if they did learn a lesson, right, what's the point? I said, no gang yields any personal winners, because even when you win, you still lose. In some respect, you kill somebody, you contribute to stimulating a part of the economy that you see every day that keeps you eating ramen noodles and, rapping about the ghetto. Funky, funky ghetto, the ghetto. Trying to stay alive in the heart of ghetto. See? But you don't own anything in the ghetto. Nothing. Not your car, not your house, not the ground, not the airspace, the minerals in the ground. And most of you in gangbanging, you're either under an injunction where you can't even wear what you want. You can't stand still on the block. Or your repressed enemy. Your real enemy, the one that you ignore. When you stand still and you're under a gang injunction and you got that flag hanging out of your pocket, I guarantee you, when you fall victim to the penal system, there's many lessons to be learned there. Not fear-mongering, I'm just stating facts. There are many, many, many lessons to be learned in the penal system. How do I know? Because me, just like many of you, have tasted of that dish. And it's not pleasant. It's rather terrifying to some people that don't think about these things. There's even gangs in prison. And of any place that you could think of and rationalize where there should be a gang at, you should give those people a little bit more leniency, but still, truth on the street is the same truth in the pen. And somebody's ringing the doorbell. Truth on the street is the same truth in the pen. There's no winners in gangbanging. When you kill, the person only learns a lesson for the moment. And that's actually an easy out. Most of these brothers that are enduring this cycle of craziness and just madness, the gangbangers that I've met, and especially like this brother Monster Cody that wrote this book, I've never met Monster, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and stunt like I know. No, I know his writing and I know the history behind the 8-Track gangsters, Gangster Crips. I know, deeply. I'm telling you, if they would all come back, they tell you the same thing. Mike's right. I done killed 20 people and looked in them niggas' eyes as they was dying. And some of them brothers was too full of drugs and alcohol to even feel the bullets. Smiling, laughing at you, shooting back at you while you chopping them up with an AK. The insanity and psychosis of gangbanging, ladies and gentlemen, only yields one thing. Because in jail, you can be rehabilitated. There's a need for that kind of gang behavior in a place where there are killers and literal killers. Not like the nigga that shot somebody next door. But people that would probably kill you and probably saw off your arm and eat some of your skin just to see what it's like. That shit's in the county prison in LA. That's in Angola prison in Louisiana. That's in Hunt's prison. You see, that's in Soledad State Prison. That's in Rikers Island out east. You can be rehabilitated in prison. Ask Tupac. He went to prison and came out a millionaire. But who rehabilitates dead bodies? You know what? Nobody rehabilitates dead bodies, and therefore all that partake in that lifestyle are losing. I wouldn't dare call you losers, because some of these brothers are the most intelligent people in the world. They can keep on evading the police. They can evade any and everything until that moment. That foolish moment when all of your life culminates in either taking a life or being a life that's taken. And I'm telling you, nobody wins. I'm going to close it with this one. Sanyika Shakur likened his life as an 8-Track Gangster Crip. In his mind, he totally submerged himself in the idea that he was no longer a civilian, no longer even an American citizen of any status, right? This man's mind, he wrote about it. And he talked about the deep depravity of a gangbanger gone wild. And I just told you, his name is no longer Monster Cody. If he's alive or dead at this very moment, his name is Sanyika Shakur. And he talks about mostly consciousness. If Monster Cody had been on the other side of any one of those killings that he wrote about, he would be able to tell you the same thing from both sides. None of the people he killed learned a lesson other than the immediate pain. And if he had gone that way and come back, which none of you can find me one, they would tell you, I didn't learn a goddamn thing. As a matter of fact, you released me from the pain of being oppressed in that which causes gangs. societal societal redlining, as we talked about, social engineering, social evolution, poverty, drugs, disease, gangbanging. Nobody wins when you kill someone. Nobody wins when you murder someone. Even though there is a fine line between necessity and murder. Killing may be a necessity. But after the kill, only the killer's left with the sleepless nights. I don't care if you go to the funeral and shoot in the goddamn casket. Hit him with lighter fluid and throw a match in there. Burn it up in the church. Kick the casket over and piss on him. He didn't feel any of that. You let him out without a lesson learned. A lesson that even wretched prison could have taught better. Brothers, listen to me. Sisters that are gangbanging, listen to me. Gangbanging never yields winners. What do you learn at the moment of your death? How long does that lesson last? All right. We'll come back later.